Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, September 29th. We have all you need to know about a new community services building, as well as more on additions to the State College Interfraternity Council.
We also have the latest information in the shooting at a Michigan church yesterday, along with sports, entertainment, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Audrey Keller.
And I'm Olivia Sweigart. The Center Area Transportation Authority will soon be using renewable natural gas to fuel its fleet. CATA announced Thursday, in partnership with UGI Energy Services, that all 60 buses and 6 service vehicles will run on RNG. More than 3,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions will be removed each year from this switch. Officials say the reduction is the same as taking 670 cars off the road.
Center County officials cut the ribbon Thursday evening on a major transformation. The former Center Crest Nursing Home has been renovated as the new community services building. After a $30 million renovation, the 118,000 square foot facility now houses the county's human service agencies. This includes children and youth services, mental health, aging, Veterans Affairs, and the Elections and Voter Registration Office, among others. Commissioners say the consolidation will make it easier for residents to access services and help agencies collaborate more efficiently.
The State College Interfraternity Council is adding 2 new fraternities to the organization. Acacia and Sigma Pi join Pi Kappa Alpha, Sigma Chi, and Tau Kappa Epsilon. The council was formed in March and operates outside Penn State's oversight with a private firm handling risk management. Both Acacia and Sigma Pi remain suspended by the university for hazing until 2029. Still, the fraternities remain backed by their national organizations and continue to operate off campus.
Penn State University police are inviting students and staff to connect over caffeine. This Wednesday, October 1st, is the Coffee with a Cop event happening across 22 Penn State campuses. Officers will be offering free coffee and snacks while encouraging open, friendly conversations about campus safety, police services, and community concerns, with the goal to foster better relationships between law enforcement and the Penn State community. Times and locations vary by campus. For University Park, the event will be held in Redifer Commons from 9 to 11 a.m. What kind of weather can students expect for the rest of this week? Student meteorologist Daniel Weaver is live in the studio with this week's forecast. Daniel?
Well, Audrey, I can answer that question pretty quickly. It's going to be pretty dry. Actually, no rain is expected at all this week. Looking outside of Beaver Stadium, not the best weekend in terms of football, but weather was beautiful this weekend. We'll keep that up, though. Again, we will need that rain as we go throughout the week, but that's not going to come as we go into the week. In fact, probably not even until next week, who knows. But to Beaver Stadium right now, we're sitting at a temperature of about 70-ish degrees in Beaver Stadium here in State College. There we go, 70 degrees outside of Beaver Stadium. Feels like 70 as well. Again, nice, beautiful night out there. Warm night in terms where we'll be the next few nights. Weather headlines, yeah, chilly nights. As I said, it's warm tonight. It's going to be cooler the next few nights, but then we'll keep those warm temperatures during the daytime, especially as we get towards the end of the week. But we're still staying dry, not seeing any rain at all in the forecast. In fact, here's the drought monitor that came out last week. It does not include all the rain that we got last week because the cutoff is 8 a.m. Tuesday, but otherwise, most of the area, though, is still in some form of drought, with the worst being across the Pittsburgh Metro and the West Virginia Peninsula. But we'll see how that improves or deteriorates this week. Be interested to see what they do on Thursday with no rain expected at all. Current satellite radar, though, just a few high clouds in the sky, but you can't really see them now with the sun setting earlier. But as we zoom out across the rest of the region, you can see that we got high pressure moving in towards the region, which we're going to keep us dry, and the weather pattern is going to be pretty stuck these next few days, so it's going to be pretty dry. So future satellite radar, it's not really much to show you. It's just going to be cloudy for the rest of the day tomorrow, thanks to Tropical Storm Imelda down towards the south, but she is moving away from the lower 48, so that's going to clear our skies off for Wednesday, which might actually cool things down Wednesday night. Might see our first frost. Well, especially up north. Maybe State College, but definitely up in the northern tier. We're pretty sure we're going to see a frost on Wednesday. And then Thursday as well. Might be a little cooler then, but skies will be clear thanks to the influence of high pressure. So moving forward on the Thursday, you can see a few clouds moving in, but again, it'll just be mostly a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout the day on Thursday and Friday. No rain expected at all. It's going to be pretty dry out there, so it'll be interesting to see what they do in terms of the drought monitor. In terms of temperatures, though, expected to stay above average in this week and next week, 6 to 10 days. We're pretty stuck weather pattern-wise. We have a big ridge of high pressure over the central U.S., which is going to keep us warm and dry for the next 7 days, maybe even longer. Tonight, though, expecting the high and low of 55 degrees with cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we'll drop those temperatures down just a little bit with the high of 79, partly cloudy skies. I think we were actually at 80 degrees today here in State College, so about the same where we are tomorrow, but then Wednesday is when we're going to drop those temperatures down, which you can see here on that 7-day forecast. We're going to drop those temperatures down on Wednesday, actually right around average Wednesday, Thursday, but then we're going to climb those temperatures back up on Friday and for the weekend. So, Audrey, it's looking like a great weekend out there, but sure could use the rain. Now, back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. Now over to Derek with the latest in sports.
I'm Derek Cervellero with your sports update. It was a heartbreaking whiteout weekend as the Nittany Lions lost to the Oregon Ducks 30-24 in double overtime, dropping them from 3rd to 7th in the AP rankings. At halftime, both teams had only a field goal, but Oregon struck first with 2 touchdowns for a 17-3 lead before the Lions answered with 2 of their own to force overtime. Forwarding to double overtime, Oregon scored quickly, but needing a touchdown to stay alive, Drew Aller threw an interception. He finished 14 of 25 for 137 yards. Next week, Penn State visits the unranked UCLA Bruins. The Penn State baseball team swept their fall ball doubleheader versus Villanova on Friday, winning Game 1 7-5 and Game 2 5-4. In Game 1, Cole Mercado went 2 for 4 with a triple and 2 RBIs, while Maddox McDonald went 2 for 2 with a double and an RBI. In Game 2, Preston Yautcher went 2 for 3 with a double, triple, and an RBI, and Jaden Davis went 1 for 2 with a triple and an RBI. The Nittany Lions will play their next fall ball matchup at home on October 10th versus Team Ontario. With the MLB regular season ending yesterday, the 2025 postseason picture is set as the Detroit Tigers face the Cleveland Guardians and the Red Sox face the New York Yankees in the American League to continue baseball's most iconic rivalry, while the Toronto Blue Jays and Seattle Mariners holding the 1 and 2 seeds earn byes to the ALDS. In the National League, the Padres face the Cubs and the Reds meet the Dodgers after the Mets' 4-0 loss yesterday to Miami eliminated them. With the top-seeded Brewers and second-seeded Phillies resting until the NLDS, the action starts tomorrow on ESPN and ABC. The headliner of the Super Bowl 60 halftime show has been announced to be Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny. In a statement, he said, "What I'm feeling goes beyond myself. It's for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I can come and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history." His concerts, since beginning in July, helped to generate hundreds of millions of dollars in tourist revenue for Puerto Rico. The Super Bowl is scheduled for February 8th at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Joy Donald has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Joy Donald with your entertainment update. Multi-platinum award-winning group All Time Low came to State College last Monday for a wine signing event. The pop-punk group came from 6 to 8 p.m. last week at Fine Wine and Good Spirits to sign bottles of their Everything is Wine wine line. The bottles range from $20 to $24, setting an affordable price range for fans to enjoy some premium wine. The project launched back in 2020, and the group continues the production of the drink. Fall is approaching right around the corner, and to commemorate, the Paul Robeson Culture Center is hosting its annual October Fun Friday at the Hub. Students can enjoy free food, music, and activities to de-stress from the week and get in the spirits for fall. No reservation or sign-up needed. Just head on down to the Hub at 122 Heritage Hall to soak up all that fall goodness. Big news for cartoon fans, the hit TV show Simpsons is coming off a 20-year hiatus and is returning to the big screens with a sequel of their original Simpsons movie. Disney Studios released that The Simpsons 2 is officially in the works, and viewers can expect the release on July 23, 2027. 20th Century Studios have posted on Instagram a picture of Homer Simpson's hand reaching for a donut with the caption, "Homer's coming back for seconds," hinting at the anticipated drop of the movie. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco are officially married as of last Saturday. The Grammy Award-winning singer and producer Selena Gomez took to Instagram to share photos of the happy couple. Gomez made a post with the caption 9/27/25 with a white heart to commemorate the occasion. Benny Blanco also took to Instagram to commemorate, commenting on the post, "My wife in real life." Fans are obsessed with Selena's classic white gown and new short bob to match the vibe. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interviewer anchor Scylla Guler will be speaking with Gianna St. Thomas, the president of Penn State's Sign Language Organization. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Scylla Guler, and today I'm joined by Gianna St. Thomas, the president of Sign Language Organization. Thank you so much for coming in to chat with us this evening. Let's get started. Can you introduce yourself, your year, major, and how you got involved with Sign Language Organization?
Yeah, obviously I'm Gianna St. Thomas. My year is I'm a junior. My major, I am in psychology and minoring in ASL. I got involved with Sign Language Org my freshman year. I actually, before or when I applied to Penn State, I looked up, I knew there was like a sign language org of some sort. Either I found it online or somewhat I like stumbled onto it, and I saw all the social media stuff on it, and then I came to campus and I just knew right away like it was something I had to be a part of. So yeah, that's how I got started.
That's great. Would you like to share a bit about your journey or experience being a part of the deaf community with us today?
Yeah, so I think it's still kind of a learning journey for me, but Sign Language Org has helped me out so much with that, with finding sort of my own deaf identity. You know, before I didn't really consider myself a part of it, or but I didn't really like the label of like having a disability or being disabled, although I'm, you know, obviously I'm more than happy to advocate for myself, but I just, I guess I was missing sort of that like community piece, and I got a taste of that when I went to deaf camps when I was younger. And when Penn State had this sign language org thing, I just thought that was like an amazing in-between, that I can transition more into my deaf identity. And so just meeting the two deaf professors here and everybody like in sign language org, other deaf people, it's really made me appreciate how much people like care, and made me realize, you know, a different way of communicating and connecting with people is amazing. So yeah.
Okay, and what inspired you to join Sign Language Org?
So I think just from seeing the different posts online and just seeing how inviting they seemed, and just how much they truly cared about signing, about American Sign Language, but not only just about that, but for being inclusive and accessible for deaf people. And it just made me feel seen in a way that I've never really felt that much before. So yeah, and I just could see that passion, so I'm like, I have to be a part of that. I think this would be great for me.
I know you're the president now, but did you ever hold any other executive positions for Sign Language Org?
Yeah, I was actually treasurer last year, and then my freshman year I was just a member, but as treasurer, that was kind of my jumping point from getting more involved, getting into exec, so yeah.
Okay, what does being a part of the deaf community mean to you?
Being part of the deaf community, I guess, means being a part of something that is greater than myself, that has culture and history to it, and a part of, you know, of other people who share my experiences, and it's still a journey of like accepting that reality of like, oh, like I guess I'm actually a part of it now, but it's not that I never was. But the deaf community has a whole wide variety of different kind of people who identify more with like talking and not really signing, or only signing, no talking, and anywhere in between. And the deaf community is just very open and welcoming. And when I just like meet another fellow deaf person, like we both share like this understanding of like we have each other, and like we share this amazing, incredible language. So.
Okay. What is one thing that you wish hearing people understood about deaf people?
I wish they understood that that the quiet is not necessarily something of isolation or something of somber or sadness. It's the quiet for deaf people, for a lot of people, is that there's a lot of sound in the way you see things, like all the different colors and textures that you can feel, and all the different scents you can smell and flavors you can taste, and there's sound like within that. And I think I wish that hearing people would appreciate like there is some beauty in the quiet as well. Yeah.
That's beautiful. What is one favorite memory or proudest moment of yours?
I have a couple, but I think my proudest accomplishment would be that last spring, I did my first ever speech in American Sign Language, and but that was like the longest time, I think, fully expressing all of my thoughts and ideas in a long, like concrete way of only signing, and that really like pushed myself like out of my own shell, and it made me realize like I'm stepping into something greater, and I have these two amazing deaf professors behind me, and the look on their faces, like they were so proud of me, and I was just so happy with them, and I was really proud that I, was brave enough to do that, and I was able to do it. And my favorite memory of, doing the Dawn performance last year, that was amazing. Just kind of the contributions I made to that to help make the signing more fluid, but also learning from one of the deaf professor's friend. Rodney's a great like deaf choreographer and performer, and I learned a lot from him, and that was just amazing to dance on stage in front of all those thousands of people. So.
All right, Gianna, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us more about your experiences with SLO. Now stick around, because coming up next, Liv and Audrey will have the latest news from across the nation.
President Donald Trump is set to meet with the top 4 congressional leaders later today at the White House, one day before the government funding deadline. House Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are to attend. Democrats want extended health care subsidies and Medicaid changes, while Republicans push for a straight 7-week funding extension. Both sides say they hope to avoid a shutdown.
Austin police have identified Robert Eugene Brashers, a deceased serial killer, as the probable perpetrator of the 1991 Yogurt Shop murders. On December 6, 1991, 4 teenage girls were found murdered in an I Can't Believe It's Yogurt Shop. Previously, 2 men, Robert Springsteen and Michael Scott, were convicted in the case, but their sentences were overturned after advanced DNA testing found no link to the crime. Brashers died by suicide in 1999, but investigators used genetic genealogy and new DNA evidence to tie him to the crime. The case remains technically open, but authorities say it may be closed soon.
2 people are dead and 8 are wounded after a shooting yesterday in a Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints chapel in Michigan. Police Chief William Renier says it began when a man rammed a 4-door pickup through the front doors of the church, got out of the vehicle, and opened fire. The gunman then set the building on fire. Police identified the suspect as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford from nearby Burton. Authorities did not disclose a motive. It was the latest of many U.S. shootings in churches, including one in August that killed 2 children in Minneapolis.
Flash flooding in Globe, Arizona has claimed 4 lives, with additional residents reported missing as heavy rains turned streets into raging torrents. One of the first areas hit by the rains housed a propane tank distributor, sending approximately 1,000 residential-sized tanks downtown. Authorities say dozens of people sought refuge by climbing onto their rooftops when their homes were inundated. Search and rescue teams continue to comb the area, warning residents in surrounding counties to stay off roads and heed flash flood alerts. Now, over to Anna with the latest in global news.
Thanks, Audrey. I'm Anna LaCastro with your global news update. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu say they have agreed to a plan to end the war in Gaza. Trump laid out a 20-point plan for ending the Israel-Hamas war and establishing a temporary governing board in Palestinian territory. This plan does not require people to leave Gaza and calls for war to end immediately if both sides accept it. It also calls for remaining hostages to be released by Hamas within 72 hours. In return, Israel would free 250 Palestinians serving life sentences in its prisons, as well as 1,700 people detained from Gaza since the war began. It is unclear whether Hamas will accept the terms. A U.S. citizen was released by the Taliban on Sunday after 9 months of detention in Afghanistan. The deputy spokesperson for the Taliban Foreign Ministry identified the man as Amir Amiri. This action came weeks after the Taliban said they had reached an agreement with U.S. envoys on a prisoner exchange as part of an effort to normalize relations. Amiri's release was facilitated by Qatar, who also helped to secure the release of 4 other American citizens from Afghanistan earlier this year. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Anna. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.